there. Indiana's an interesting spot. Curt Cignetti is an awesome hire for them. I'll be honest, I was surprised he left JMU for that with what he was able to do with that program. I mean, I thought he could have landed an even bigger job than that. But he's known as a program builder. He's the type of coach that comes in and changes things around. And we know that in college football today, you can use the transfer portal and bring in talent and build programs quickly. I think Indiana at 5.5 wins, especially getting that plus money, is a very, very sneaky play for a number that's really low with a head coach that gets the most out of his program.
Yeah, I'm really interested in Indiana. Me and Mario were talking about this actually before the
Mario's
show.
Been smiling when we hear an Indiana mention. He's like, yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, it depends. Like, I could see this going either way, right? Like, I worry a little bit about the defense because they have one starter coming back. But you bring in 10 transfers from JMU. So he's pretty much like bringing over his entire roster. If you look at like the FPI, it says they're going to be the worst team in the 18-team Big Ten, 77th in the country. They have 5 returning starters. I don't really look at like the returning production because you have Cignetti now taking over this job. And like he said to everybody in the portal and all of his recruits, I win. You could Google me. But like he said, he watched the film and he wants more speed. He wants more athletes. He wants guys that could create separation. And he goes out and he gets Kalen Black, who had 1,000 yards rushing at JMU. I like the receivers that they bring in. But I'm most excited about Curtis Rourke from Ohio. He was a 3-year starter there, went 21-11. And 2 years ago, he was the MAC Player of the Year. Like, we were watching him every single Tuesday night, threw for over 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, got a little bit banged up. The offensive line worries me a little bit. Like, they have some experience. He was able to talk their center into coming back for his 6th year, like the Van Wilder year. And they got the left tackle Carter Smith to withdraw his name from the portal.
Van Wilder, well done.
I thought Carter Smith was going to go to like the SEC, maybe an ACC team, and they were able to bring him back to Indiana. 10 transfers. Like I said, though, the defense is going to be a big work in progress. They have 1 returning starter. I do like Aiden Fisher, the middle linebacker that they bring over from JMU. He might end up being a pro. Just like the schedule is so tough, man. You know what I mean? Because now you have Ohio State on the road. Michigan State's going to be a little bit better, I think. You have them on the road.
UCLA
you have Washington, Nebraska, UCLA. So I'm with you. I like their upside. I don't think I'm going to bet the win total. I also really like the wide receiver that they got from Texas Tech, Miles Price. He could have a monster year. So they should be pretty solid offensively, but I worry about that defense with just one dude coming back.
Yeah, and if you look at teams like Nebraska that had an overhaul, like it takes a little while for you to be able to develop that culture. Year 1 with a new coach is usually pretty difficult in order to turn a team around. You need 2 years at least to really make noise. So I would probably stay away from that win total, but I am excited about them.
What do you think about the hiring of Chip Kelly? Because like you said with Ryan Day, now you bring in a new play caller. A lot of pressure on Ryan Day as well. Hasn't beat Michigan in a while. Needs to win a national championship. And then what do you think about Will Howard? Like, how much of an upgrade is that over Kyle McCord, who had some struggles, but, you know, like Will Howard was losing time last year even, sharing snaps at the end of the season. So I that one kind of baffled me. Usually you think like Ohio State quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and we remember Justin Fields. I don't know if I love that position, but they're stacked, especially on the defensive side of the ball with Knowles. But where are you at on the offensive side of the ball with the new additions of Howard and Chip Kelly as OC?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they had a run there of quarterbacks where, I mean, first rounders and NFL prospects and Heisman, finalists. C.J. Stroud was the first one. Dwayne Haskins. I played against J.C. Barrett, Cardale Jones, Braxton Miller. Justin Fields. You could go down the list. So it was certainly shocking to see the lack of success by Kyle McCord because, the truth is this Ohio State roster is loaded. I mean, they got the defense fixed now, and Jim Knowles he's had the chance to implement his scheme. It's going to be one of the best units in college football. You look at that receiver core, you got Emeka Egbuka, you got Jeremiah Smith, who this guy's a true freshman, guys, and they said the whispers on campus is that he can rival Marvin Harrison Jr. already. So they're loaded running back room. Like, they're loaded with talent. And I think whoever the quarterback is, whether it's Will Howard or maybe it's Devin Brown, or you could go down the list, the benefit for Ohio State is that scheme is so well-oiled and operational. I'd expect whether it's Will Howard or whoever to put up big-time numbers. What I like about Will Howard, if I'm the Buckeyes, though, and how this works with bringing in Chip Kelly. You think Chip Kelly and you think explosive, sexy offenses. But when you dive into the numbers, he's consistently been able to run the football. Like he has some great run schemes. That's what Will Howard does really well. Back when I was playing against Ohio State, man, J.T. Barrett wasn't the most talented quarterback, but his legs were so dangerous. He'd just rip your heart out. If it was 3rd and 4, he was going to get you 5. So I can just see these sets with Judkins and Travion Henderson and Will Howard in there. And it's like, what do you do to stop that? It's a nightmare for opposing defenses. But I'll finish with this. Ohio State, this isn't a new development that they have talent on their roster. They've been plenty talented enough these past few years to reach all their goals. So you have to say, what are they missing? And I think you can look at the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry right now, and it's a mindset. It's not like they can add any more talent to get to their goals. I'm happy for them that they got Chip Kelly. He's a phenomenal offensive mind. But they didn't exactly need better schemes. This is going to come down to a mindset. What do they do when they play Oregon? How do they overcome and get the monkey off the back of beating Michigan? That has to come from somewhere else other than talent and scheme.
He knew the Lakers are a complete mess. You got really no future right now. You've got a lot of questions, not a lot of draft picks, not a lot of cap space. While you've built a program up there in Storrs, Connecticut, where everybody loves you, and you have a chance to make history winning 3 straight national titles. It made perfect sense for him to do this exactly the way that he did. I think it was the right decision, and the Lakers once again are a complete mess where we're going to look at them next year and probably have a win total of like 43.5, and we're going to say, hey, they're going to be a play-in team because that's the ceiling for them in the Western Conference.
Yeah, you look at this entire scenario, and I got a couple of calls today that gave me some of the inside tea on what the rumors are and what the narrative was in terms of what happened. So, 5 days ago, Shams comes out. J.J. Redick is the leader in the clubhouse to be the Lakers head coach. Lakers organization extremely pissed that report gets leaked because they didn't want to announce that until J.J. finished up with the finals. So then opportunity comes up for Woj to try to dunk on his rival and Shams Charania. Yeah. Calls up a friend of his who is Dan Hurley because remember, Woj did the book for Dan Hurley's dad. For St. Anthony's in New York, the high school. And so he has this opportunity to shift the narrative that the Lakers have other coaching candidates, that it's never been just JJ. They're looking at a very thorough search. Remember, they were like, we've looked at James Borrego. We've interviewed him multiple times. Get the F out of here with that. So then, one day after Shams' report that J.J. Redick is the leader in the clubhouse, he comes out with, from the clouds, this is why I thought it was BS from the beginning. Comes out of the clouds with, no, the Lakers have been trying to pursue Dan Hurley for weeks now. He's been the leader in their coaching search, which makes it again seem like the Lakers are doing their due diligence and are looking for big game, which they obviously are not. Then Dan Hurley has the perfect opportunity to leverage that move or that potential hire, which he was never really looking to make, to get more money from UConn because he hasn't gotten more money even after the Kentucky offer, even after all the back-to-back national titles. And then you've got this 3-pronged approach for Woj to do all of the things, accomplish getting his guy paid, accomplish helping out the Lakers organization look better than they are, and make them look more organized and more buttoned up. Because when everybody asks the Lakers, hey, what's up? Have you heard anything about this? And everybody's like, no, this is the first I'm hearing about this. Man, they must be really good at keeping leaks in. No, they must be really good at lying about how long they've been pursuing Dan Hurley, which is 4 days ago. And so now Dan Hurley gets his money. He looks so great, like he's turned down Kentucky and the Lakers. And we get to go on betting UConn for the rest of oblivion.
That's what I was going to say is imagine being Dan Hurley right now and going home to your wife because you have to be the sexiest man on the planet, even over Channing Tatum or whoever won it last year because you turned down the Kentucky job, that job, which...
for her.
How many coaches turned down that job?
Almost
and for her
none.
because she made that trip for the first time, immediately went home and was absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then you turned down the Los Angeles Lakers. And now, you did your due diligence, though. You kind of dipped your feet there. And so now if he wants to ever coach in the NBA, that opportunity is going to be there because his stock's never going to be higher. He goes back to UConn. It's already so hard to repeat, let alone three-peat. Nobody's done it. If he does do it, he's the king of college basketball forever.